Hi, my name is Dotty Yadao. I'm from the island of Kauai. Today, the bouquet that I did is a mixed tropical with a few temperate flowers thrown in to soften the feel and the look and the color. The anthuriums now come in so many beautiful colors that we could probably get away with not having to use temperate flowers, but I like the little pretty in it. I started out thinking that I wanted the protea to be the frame, the center of the bouquet. So because I decided on that, I decided to use one of the holly chapel eggs as a frame, because the protea are very heavy. So once you get it anchored into the frame, it helps to keep them in place. So when you add the other flowers, the protea doesn't move around so much. These are the lovely soft pink anthuriums up at the top. This is a standard shape, not an obaki. Obaki means ghost or monster in Japanese, and the anthuriums are given that name because of their misshapen form. The old days they were all heart-shaped, perfect little heart shapes. So let me just go around this way. The little anthuriums here, they're so dainty and so pretty. They add this soft bounce to the bouquet. We've got the Amy, which is here, and the hot pink is called the Lady Jane. I like the play of the silver leaves against the pink, so I brought in some Dusty Miller for that. Pretty bicolored snapdragons in the center. My favorite blushing bride protea right through this arc. And I thought these fern curls added a little bit of playfulness in the center of the bouquet. These anthuriums are called the Maui Bride. They come in two forms. This, to me, is the bonus form because it's like a cup and saucer anthurium, if you've ever seen those before. This is one anthurium and it has two faces, a lighter pink mini face and the long, nice line. This is the other version of the same anthurium. It doesn't have the little cup on top. Still very pretty, gives you a really nice line. Okay. And it comes around, and I've added in a spray of Phalaenopsis orchids, white Phalaenopsis orchids. Some dendrobiums off to the side, some Lisianthus to have some nice points. And on our little farm tour, we found these amazing little pink forget-me-nots. I couldn't resist. We have a beautiful dahlia back here. Now for my framing on this, I use the calathea and the umbrella fern. This particular calathea is called the medallion. So I ruffled it. And I'll finish the bouquet by showing you how I did that. But it has a beautiful purple side, along with having this beautiful variegated side. Someday I'll figure out how to get that in the center of the bouquet. But anyway, it added depth here, because now you have a texture, a ruffle, where you didn't have that before. This is also a calathea leaf. Different variety, but a nice long line. and then the umbrella fern underneath. So I will just finish this part of the bouquet up. My ruffling was done simply by pinching these in and then adding it to the back. And it looks like I just finished it with silk. It's gorgeous. The other one. Now, I'm not only a hands-on florist, I'm also a teeth-on florist, so if I bite this, don't worry about it. Okay, I'll trim the excess stems. And because this bouquet is a pretty heavy guy and it's upside down, I decided to use a satin ribbon on it to finish it. Simple white. My signal to my brides, because you'd be amazed how many brides will hold the bouquet upside down. I tell them, just look for the pins. The side with the pins is the top of the bouquet. So I try to finish it off in little too much tape there, sorry. Okay, so I try to finish it off so that there's something that resembles pearls, even if they're not. So this is my handheld bridal bouquet. Oh, I suppose I should show you how to hold it. Try to keep the stems cut a little shorter. As one of the girls mentioned earlier, make sure your stems are dry before you hand it to the bride. And she'd carry it in this, not like this. Try to encourage them to hold it like this. Okay. So the next piece that I worked on, I built a wire frame, and this is going to be a hairpiece for the bride. It's constructed to be from about this quadrant of the head over down onto the cheek. So I put this together for right now in two pieces. These flowers are all your tropicals. They'll all take water. So when we put this away, we would put it away, spray it well with water, put it in a plastic bag and put it into refrigeration. This is peacocky, jasmine, a very delicate flower. You want to never spray this with water. You spray it with water, the next day it'll smell like cabbage. Very unattractive. So I'm going to finish up adding on the last flowers here, and then I'll add this on top, and then I'll call my model volunteer and she'll help me out so I can demonstrate to you what it's supposed to look like. I believe this one is called Anui Nui, which means rainbow. Beautiful other version of an anthurium. These are all natural. I love the pink veining. Now I'm doing this with some cut glue dashes. And I'll put one higher on the flower because I want it to stay for sure. And I'll put one along the stem because I want that secure also. So I have one up here and one on the stem. And I'm also going to add on a phalaenopsis in the same way. And I make sure that I put the glue strip on the phalaenopsis up high because it's very fragile and I don't want it getting torn off when they're anchoring this hairpiece with bobby pins later when they're all dressed. And I put one on the stem also. before I stick this flower on, I did a wire frame, and it comes all the way across. Then I webbed it with bind wire, silver bind wire. So I left a couple of knuckles here so bobby pins could be inserted to secure this. And there's another one up here that's covered by fern. And because we don't want anybody to, oops, I'm sorry, we don't want anybody to see our mechanics, I covered it with some umbrella fern because I used it up here also. And for my foliage here, I took one of the long, narrow calathea leaves and started it as a point. And then I cut the rest of them into wedges so that you couldn't see through the floral arrangement to the frame. So now it looks like maybe it grew like that. Okay, so that completes that side of it. This way, and this way. Okay. So for today, I'm just going to lay this on top because I don't want to anchor it until I'm ready to put it on the bride's head tomorrow. So I'll prepare this and I'll store them separately. And now to finish off my 3 pieces, I did a double row choker with rosebuds, white dendrobiums, and the pikaki. And pikaki is one of the hardest leaves to get when somebody wants them. And so I thought, I can't get quantity a lot of the time. So if I can use 1 lei to make 2 leis, then they get more bang for their buck, I guess. But they do get the flower strands that they want, the density they want, without my saying, I'm sorry, I could only get 1 lei today. So I have a model. I added on a little fern and white phalaenopsis for the back to make it look like a bow. All right. So, okay, and come a little forward. Now, because this is all wired, doesn't matter the shape of the head or the size. Your flowers. Sorry. So you can bend it to stay, and then your beautician can pin it wherever she needs to make it secure. And I came to this conference because I belong to the Hawaiian Tropical Flowers Association, and principally our club are flower growers, and I got to be the florist because I was one of two. But all of these things are easily grown on our island as well as on the Big Island. Pikaki is only grown on the dry side of our island, and so you don't, it's really seasonal on Kauai. So ask, we may have it, we may not have it, but we will do our very best to provide you with your dream flower bouquet and lei for your wedding. Thank you.